Hello new students, I'm Gerry with the drivingschool.ca, and I want to spend a couple minutes here just giving you some insights on how to work in a parking lot. And this is something that I definitely recommend before you even start your lesson. Work on, I don't want to call it the basic skills, but the foundations. Bigger the parking lot, the better it is for the relationship with your co-driver, because if you're driving where it's too busy, you know, mom or dad sitting in back or in the passenger seat thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. So big parking lot make life a lot easier. A couple things that we work on right off the bat. This is 10 and 2. 10 and 2 does not change no matter where the steering wheel is, because a lot of times you guys are driving and your hands are caught like this. Always bring your hands back to 10 and 2. Okay, so when you're doing a turn, you start at 10 and 2, hand over hand, 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 and when you're done, 10 and 2. And then when you turn right, hand over hand, all the way to the right, hand over hand. And then when you're done, if that's it for turning, bring your hands back to 10 and 2. Now, the concern is that, we teach a slide recovery. And the reason we have we teach slide recovery is because every time you cross the airbag, you're putting yourself at risk. You don't want the airbag to go off. You always want your hands to go back to 10 and 2. And if you're turning the wheel back instead of a slide recovery, you're doubling your risk of getting yourself injured. So you turn, hands at 10 and 2. And then you look where you need to go, and then you give her gas. And when you give her gas, the car will go straight. But the argument a lot of people don't realize is, when do I let it slide? Well, let's go towards the hamburger. Actually, I'm going to go a little bit farther. You notice as I turn, instead of doing hand over hand, I did a little shuffle. Sometimes when you don't have a sharp turn, you could shuffle the wheel, bring your hands back to 10 and 2. But now I'm going to go towards the hamburger. 10 and 2. Look where I need to go. Now, the whole thing is, if I let go of the wheel now, it's not going to go towards the hamburger. Hey, the hamburger's over there. So what you got to do is you got to learn how to guide it there. So you're going to turn, and I'm going to find the pole over there. So I look at the pole, and I give a gas, and I let it slide. And sometimes I put more pressure, less pressure, but having my hands back at 10 and 2 and guiding the wheel where I want it to go goes a long way. So now I'm going to turn back towards the hamburger. I turn, 10 and 2. Look at the burger. I'm giving her gas coming out of the corner. And then I finish up by looking behind me. And this is why we do a parking lot lesson. We work on the technique. It's interesting because I used to have driving simulators in the class, and I used to run them with the students. But what I found was, when the students were doing simulations of driving, they would be able to turn, good job, but then they come in the parking lot and they give a gas on the wrong spot, and they're like, whoa, nothing's working. So by spending the time in a parking lot, working on technique, 10 and 2, looking at the Rock 94, giving her gas, letting her slide, that's a good foundation for driving. Because once you get comfortable doing this in a big parking lot, then you're going to go out into residential. Then you're going to find this becomes more of a challenge, because when you're driving residential, you're worried about the curb, you're worried about the parked cars, and so on. So spend the time in the parking lot, turn, look where you need to go, give her gas, get a feel for it. It's just going to get easier. Then you can throw in some mirror checks, slowing down smoothly, hand over hand, 10 and 2, looking at the burger, outhouse, whatever catches your attention. Look, slowing down, mirror check, technique, looking, turning, looking at the Rock 94, giving it some gradual gas, ending up where you want to end up. Okay, so again, my advice, work on that, see where it gets you, and that'll help you for your first driving lesson. I spent all day today from 10 a.m. to 6 o'clock just doing parking lot lessons, and I'm telling you, in the long run, the students benefit. Have fun. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to bug me.